So, a little presentation. I'm Elias, I'm a full stack engineer at Bounce. This is a picture of one of our team trips. Of course, there's just some of us, not all of the team and company. I'm on the DevX and AI engineering team, and our focus is, as the name implies, developer experience, infrastructure, and making sure Bounce is AI ready. Over the years, I've worked with many tools and languages, from ActionScript, if you guys remember, some PHP, a lot of Django. I had AWS Lambdas with Python, Node.js, some backbone JS as well. CoffeeScript, anyone? And recently, 3 years ago, not a good experience. And now advanced Elixir, Expo, and React Native. Just a few, but with Expo and React Native, what makes sense for today, not Elixir. Outside of work, I tinker with computer builds, and I specialize in killing houseplants. It's not going well. So let's start. So back in 2018, I was not advanced, but I'm gonna try to figure out how it was. So how did we start with this movie? I hate it. Mostly our movies, I don't like it. We started as everyone starts, the old way, with a manual release hell. Just, of course, I don't know for sure how it was, and I didn't investigate, but probably was checking out the branch, doing the builds with some time at the front of the computer or drinking coffee, and then if everything goes well, fast and deliver. This was very prone to errors, no risky Friday releases, and we love those at Pulse. At the principle, like 6 p.m. releases, it's common here. Friday. Yes. Also, there's no safeguards with strategy when anything goes wrong, and there's a lot of time spent by the team doing this. So we needed a solution that would ensure the same speed as we try to implement new features into our apps, something that would give us peace of mind and would ensure that our features will get to our users bug-free. Well, mostly because I think that's difficult. So a little suspense, and also just to give a little more time to the talk, so it's not too fast. Here's the vision: 0 to star. So it's something that we wanted to enable us to do everything that we needed to be fast. We just wanted to trigger a full automated release only merging to production. So, of course, this is just this could happen with hot fixes. But this is an example, just committing and pushing to production with Daniel. Daniel put it an env variable to allow us to push to production without it we can't. But it's possible. So we decided to migrate our apps to Expo, allowing us to build faster native apps and deliver even faster OTA updates, because those should be faster. The promises was under 50 minutes releases for OTA updates, just for changes of code, TypeScript, some content, of course, translations. Have no false positives for native changes detection. Those are tricky. And 0 human intervention for 99% of releases. I don't know if this number is correct, but sounded a good number. And have bulletproof quality gates preventing releasing broken versions. and have everything coordinated for the multi-platform, in this case for iOS and Android. And of course, have a full visibility of this pipeline from push to production, and also to be sent to review on the stores. So let's go through the architecture of our release pipeline that we came up with. This is, I hope this is good enough to understand. Whenever we merge a pull request or push directly hotfix into production, we check if any of the apps were affected. That means any file changes related to those apps. If no, we skip everything and interrupt the pipeline. If yes, we do a fingerprint analysis. If there's no native changes, so with this fingerprint analysis, we detect, and I'll explain a little further. If we don't detect any changes, we do an RTA update, and this should run under 50 minutes. So since we push to production, or from when we push to production till we deliver an RTA update, should be under 15 minutes. We then run end-to-end tests, in this case, small tests, not so extensive end-to-end tests, because RTA updates are faster to release, so also faster to fix. If we detect native changes, let's continue with the native build. If we have a native build, we want to do end-to-end tests and a full suite of tests, because it takes longer to fix issues with later releases. If the tests fail, we block the release pipeline with no exceptions. So we need to fix the issue or update the test that failed. If the tests pass, we send the release to the stores using Expo. Releasing a native version of an app will take around 35 to 45 minutes, give or take, since from the push to production. So it's around 30 minutes to build, at least with the last Expo update, because before that was around just for building almost an hour, but now it's getting better. The enter test takes 15 minutes and just a couple of minutes to submit the release to both stores. For both end results, block the release or submit the new build, we send Slack notification. So with this architecture, with this pipeline, we reduced release time using conditional execution between OTA updates and native builds, because most of our changes were OTA updates and are. We also have a quality gatekeeper at the critical step, in this case, after the native build and then releasing to the store. And we have human readable feedback throughout GitHub Actions and Slack notifications. But there was a game changer that allowed us to build this, or that allowed us to optimize this pipeline. And it was the fingerprint detection. And we did a few iterations on this to detect those changes. One of those interactions, we use Expo pre-build to generate or bootstrap a new project. And then doing a git diff to detect any changes. But this was a little bit, not a little bit, but didn't work as we expected, because since it Expo pre-build would change the project bootstrapping template quite often, we were getting a lot of false positives, resulting in a lot of native builds submitted for review in both stores. And to try to illustrate a little bit more, is because every time we did a change, it's the same thing as creating a new project every time, and we use that to detect if that would result in new changes. But yeah, since the templates also changed, we couldn't get good results. And then we moved to Expo's fingerprint to identify changes in native code. So this is a new thing that they have, but it's not still stable. So we use it kind of directly in our GitHub Actions. They also provide a GitHub action, but for now, we found it to be easy to use ourselves a little bit this way. This is like a very pseudo-code example, but we check out the target branch. So in this case, would be, of course, production. We run this fingerprint and save it in this fingerprint.json. We add the file with Git, then check out the current commit that went too much to production, run again, and then git diff the fingerprint.json file. If there's any changes from the git diff, it's because we have native code changes. Another key feature we wanted with this setup was to give immediate feedback for developers. And we handle this by adding labels. So hence this smart PR labeling. It's not so smart, but it's just just adding labels to our PRs. So it's easy to know if a PR is going to result in an OTA update or a native build. One of the main reasons for this is we do run a lot of experimentations that may result in native releases. So if that happens, constraints the experimentation window. And also people like to be aware if the release of that experimentation will take longer than they were expecting. In some cases, with some experimentations, we also didn't want to trigger a native build, so we know right away if that happens. And this is the example. It's a party, but you can have an idea what it looks like. So in this case, we have native update for customer, OT update for the packages app, and also for the partner app. And yes. Next up, the quality gates. End-to-end tests. So what we use in our current setup is end-to-end testing is not easy. At least that's what we found with our investigation throughout the years. For now, we settle with browser stack, so we can have a wide range of real devices for both iOS and Android. To write our tests, we are using WebDriver.io because it felt faster, but it's not that stable. We find it. We also tried to strike a balance of having tests for all of our critical conversion paths in our apps, but also keep this number of tests low, so we still have release time somehow also low, and also to keep costs low because browser stack is not cheap. And finally, again, no exceptions. If the tests fail for native builds, we need to fix the issue or the app on the app and update the test and start all over again. One of the things that is annoying about native app automation is that can get very verbose. And we try to solve this with a custom layer on top of WebDriver.io. And we gave it the name Simple Steps. Maybe we could release this, or maybe not because we don't like WebDriver.io that much. So this is an example, but the most bare bones example with WebDriver.io. So we have all these specific locators. So we have for Android, and then iOS is a little simpler. and we have to do this. I mean, we could also do some boilerplate for these tests, or on the top of each test to mitigate this. And yeah, we tried to do something simple, and we came up with this. It's way faster to write tests. It's easier to read, at least for us. We like some TypeScript and JavaScript objects. And also it's easier for new members to contribute, has zero learning curve, and most important is consistent patterns across all tests that we can have with this. So we wanted that every test that we have to have the same structure, just a group of tests that you can easily read. The last important step on our pipeline is sending the new native builds to both stores for review. And we send a specific version for review in the App Store and the Play Store. These, for these, if the end-to-end tests pass and Expo sends the new build for both stores, we have this workflow in interactions that runs on a schedule. It's nothing special about it, and it just shows 2 days of the week because we try to not submit for review often, because we were afraid that maybe Apple Store may flag us because we do release a lot throughout the day, and by mistake or not, we could release 3 times a day with a native build. And yeah, this is not bulletproof, because if we send it to review on a Thursday, it could still be approved on Saturday, and we have a weekend release. So it's the best we have for now. But there's also some situations where we want to submit a release for review straight away after the native build happens and after Expo sends those to the source. And for that, we configure this workflow to also be reviewed manually. And also, I can show, because that happened today. You can see that with that I talked earlier, that we send a Slack notification after we create a native build. And this example, Daniel told everyone that okay, I'm going to send this to for review, and he sent it. So we can also see those submission notifications, and here the execution manually on this workflow. So super simple, but for now it's a manual process that we don't mind have for these situations. Okay, so thank you. That's all of this for this, and yeah.